Hello, this is Rick from 1124 Holdings and e24land.com, here to give a video overview of our 3.609 acre property in Edwards, Missouri, Benton County. This is lot number 3049 on Steve Drive near Beekman Place. In case you haven't seen it, I made another video about Edwards, Missouri, where it is, the general area. I'll put a link to that in the description. As a reminder, let's zoom in. I'll show you some landmarks. Here is St. Louis. Over here, it's about 3.25, 3.5 hours, depending on where you are. Where we're talking about is right in this area here. So St. Louis, Kansas City is about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on where you live. If you're down here in Overland Park, Lee Summit, you can get there via Highway 49 into Route 7. Otherwise, generally you come across Highway 70 either from St. Louis or from Kansas City. Highway 70 out to the Sedalia exit. I think that's exit 78. And then head down, that's Highway 65. It'll take you down through Sedalia and then Warsaw and then down into the area. If you're down south, Springfield, Highway 65 again runs straight up 90 minutes up into this Warsaw area. We get some people coming in from Tulsa or Arkansas, and they'll come up this way as well. So I'll zoom in a little bit. Here's our property. For those of you that may know, Lake of the Ozarks. Lake of the Ozarks is all in here, and a lot of people are familiar with Bagnell Dam, or they may be familiar with Truman Lake. But Lake of the Ozarks runs all the way through this and connects the two. And this area right here that we're talking about in the middle is this development. Lake of the Ozarks is about 92 miles long, but where we're talking about in here is mile marker 74, 75 is in here. Mile marker 80 is up around here, and this up here in the bend is mile marker 69 or 70. So you absolutely could get in your boat and go all the way to Bagnell Dam, or back in the old days we went to Shooters 21, and I don't know if that's still down there or not. So all connected. Or you can go back this way to get over a couple miles to get into Warsaw, and this is Truman Lake over in this area. In Warsaw, you'll about 25 minutes from the property. It's the county seat of Benton County. That's where you find a lot of the government agencies. There's about 2,200 people there. It's about a 25-minute drive. There's a super Walmart, grocery stores. There's a number of restaurants and place for supplies, farm and home. That type of stuff. Doctor's offices, little retail boutique shops, etc. There are a couple of convenience stores, a little closer gas stations. There's one right about here called Pump and Munch that I like to stop at and get a sandwich and some gas, a cup of coffee before I drive into the property. So that's all there. The main arteries running through here, this is Highway 65 coming down, Highway 7 coming across, and then you're going to have Highway M and Highway V that run up through the property, and I'll show you those here in a little bit. There are 15 or 20 gates coming into the development, so you're going to run on pavement, Highway M, and then if whichever one is the closest. So for instance, come up here, this is Highway V that comes across, and then for instance there would be a gate right here that would be the closest to come into the property, and then you get about 1.5 miles on gravel road, about 1 mile on gravel road, and then you take this dirt grass road to get back to the property. I'll show you a little bit more on that here in a minute. Gotta have gate codes to enter. So if you want to go visit the property, reach out to us. We'll help you get lined up with Visitors Pass to go down and take a look. Property, the development itself is all of this area up in here, right? So there's about 12,800 acres, and it's about 4,100 lots in a gated community. Taxes are low, generally ranging from about $38 to $62 a year, unless you're on one of the waterfront properties up here, and then they can be a little bit more. This particular lot, 3049, is about $48 a year in taxes. There's no time limit to build, so some people have these for recreational properties. They go down on the weekends and go camping. Others have them for if you want to retire in a couple of years, build a house in a couple of years, you can do that, or maybe you just want to go down and go camping on it. People do that. There are only about, of the 4,100 lots, I am guessing, but there's not too many houses. There may be only about 100 houses in the entire development. The property or the development itself has about 5 miles of shoreline. So again, this is Lake of the Ozarks, and you've got all these coves, great places for fishing. Inside of the property, we've got a number of 3 small lakes. So here's a 28-acre lake they call Bob's Lake. Here's a 23-acre lake called Welsh Lake, and over here is another lake that is just called Forbes Lake. And it's about 20 acres. There's another small one over here called Turtle Lake. So those are private use for the property owners. Turtle Pond over here. There are 3 boat launches. So Turtle Pond has a boat launch, but for this property, probably closer, there is one at Turkey Cove, and there's another one at the Deer Creek Arm, right? So it'd be easy to just hop on the highway, probably less than 10-minute drive to get over, and you can launch your boat and be out here on Lake of the Ozarks, or certainly you could drive on in and you can launch your boat and be on the private lake for fishing. What else? Forbes has a number of amenities. There's an RV park if you decided that you want to use that. I think it's $10 a day. Tennis courts, things like that. No time limit to build. I'm going to zoom in on the property here in a second, and then I'll show you a little bit more. There's no time limit to build. If you do decide to build, it's 1,000 square foot minimum with a foundation. So modular homes are okay. Mobile homes are not permitted because they don't have a foundation, so they're considered temporary structures. Some of the lots in this development allow for recreational camping. Others do not. This particular lot is in Unit C2, so it does allow recreational camping, and that means you can go in and you could spend a week or 2 there, but you need to clear all of your stuff out when you're done. They make a distinction between living in an RV or a camper versus being there for a weekend or a fifth wheel ride. So you can camp in a camper, but you can't live in a camper. Living in a temporary structure is not permitted. So there are some exceptions to that where if you are going to build, if you are actively building and you've got all of your permits in order and you want to live in a temporary structure, an RV, a camper, or whatever while you're building, I think for up to a year, maybe more, there's some exceptions to that. That is permitted. I'm not an expert in that, but you would want to talk to the architectural committee about that. So I wanted to point out in this property, so it's interesting that this one has this area right here that you can see is kind of cleared out. This would be a cool little area for camping in this property. So you come in, let's just look at this. So in this case, you come in, here's a highway, this is paved road, and then you would turn off onto this gravel road. Right about there is a gate. Property owners get a gate code. They'd be able to come on in through here, come on up through a gravel road. There's a house. There's power along this road. And then you get up here and you can wind on up this way, and it looks like here's gravel, and then it'll turn into this dirt and grass road here, and then you got about a mile on into the property. This is that Welsh Lake. It's nice. It's pretty quiet. Be easy to just take a quick little drive to get over here to the boat launch is right in this area. So in this case, here's your nice camping spot, and I think from here you can see up here in the top of the property, it's buildable, right, relatively level, and then there's a little bit of a slope down, but this would be a pretty cool place that you could camp. Let me see if I've got, I wanted to show the, so in this case, I like to show the elevation profile. If you look at this, if you look at the property this way, up here on top, you got about, I don't know, about 150 feet or so where there's only about a 10 or 15 foot drop, right? So this area up here on top is reasonably level, and then it slopes down a little bit, right, to get down to the camping area. Or I was thinking that maybe be better off, instead of coming straight down the hill, but if you were to start over on this side and do something very similar to where if you came in up here, if you wanted to cut down and get down to the camping area, right, it's it's not terribly steep, right, but that's a 15-foot drop over about 170 or 175 foot, and then you can get down in here to use it for camping. I'm going to show at the end of this video some drone footage that I took last year when the leaves were changing. You can see this spot a little bit. I love to get out there in October when the leaves are changing. You got the beautiful fall colors. So let's see. All right, so there's property, and again, kind of look at it. This clearly is taken in the fall when all the leaves have already fallen off the trees. Here's a kind of a view of the property. It's going to be able to camp up here. Maybe I think if you were going to build a house, right, from this perspective, sit back here and maybe build a walkout off here and have that looking off to the, so that would be to the west, right? So you're going to have sunsets off in that area. I'm going to show the dirt roads here in a second. Let me show maybe, so here's a property. I hope that you can see this okay. I'm trying a couple of new things here in my video. Property dimensions, 593 feet. It's a little bit irregular, not exactly rectangular, but you can tell. It's here on Steve Drive, and the easy way to find it here is at the dead end or at the T to Beekman Place. I'll show you that here in a second. There is an easier marking associated with this property, but here's the property dimensions. Here's the road, right? So it's not a dirt road, they call it a grass road, right? But it's well maintained. It's easy to get in. I've been there after it's rained. No concerns driving up and down that road. Fall colors. I love the beautiful yellows and the oranges and the reds that pop out that time of the year. It's got some nice trees. A lot of it has this little brush down here that can be easily cleared out. They don't mind you clearing out trees if they're less than 6 inches at chest height. So you go in and clean out a lot of this stuff, but some of these bigger trees, right, you want to try to preserve nature and preserve the beauty of the area, not go in and strip mine the place. So some of these larger places you want to have a plan to say, hey, let's preserve this, but if you're going to build a house, yeah, clearly you got to make some place to have a driveway and to get your house back in here. Here's another idea. A lot of these small ones again could be pretty easily cleared out. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm going to show you a video here of the property that I took. Again, if you want to see more about the area from this property, again, you see that Lake of the Ozarks is only 10 minutes away, or you get to the smaller one. So let me talk you through. I got another video. Let me just. So this is a drone video that I took, and again, beautiful colors. This was probably the middle of October, right? So lots of trees, lots of ambers and oranges and yellows out in there. But I did want to just. This is of the property itself, and it's down here, and I think it goes out in a second. But here's again, there's your grass dirt road that goes down, easy to drive up and down it. You'll be able to get to the other highway, but nice and private. There's no houses in the area. You saw that the houses down around the corner were about a mile away. So in this case, here's this camping area. Let me stop there. You can see, right? So you get down 100, 200, 250, 300 feet down, and there'd be this camping area that if you wanted to get back there and have some privacy, nobody would know that you were back there, and it's already kind of cleared off. Be a pretty cool place for camping. It was kind of windy the day that I was out there, so here at the end of this video I started spinning a little bit, so I apologize for that. Lost a little bit of control of the drone and had to recover. But it's a beautiful area down there. 25 minutes into Warsaw if you want to go and get supplies. Fishing tournament and things like that they have at the Bob Lake every June or July, I think. So it's stocked and maintained for the community residents and property owners. And these are all big trees. There's no well or septic. No one has ever developed here. I'm sort of spinning out of control, and that's why you'll see me goes back and it's looking other property. I apologize for that, but no, nobody's ever developed on the property, so there's no sewer or well or anything already on that, right? No one's ever built there, so if you were going to live there, you're going to have to drop in a well and a septic, a waste treatment system. Power is in the area. I'm not a building expert, so I don't exactly know how much that sort of stuff would cost, but here I'm going to kind of want to show you one other thing. So here this is a street sign that's pretty typical, but this is going to say Steve and Beekman Place, so this is going to be typical. And then the other thing that's interesting is some properties over here to the right, some properties, I guess the original development, they would have had property numbers posted on each of them, and I wanted to. So in some cases there's going to be a little wooden plaque, and that one says 3049 to indicate that that's lot number 3049. Over the last 20 or 30 years, sometimes those have fallen off or gotten torn off or whatever's happened. But they exist, and I wanted to capture that. I thought that was pretty cool that that's something that has survived for a wooden plaque on a tree that's survived for so many years. So again, here's your road going down it. Beautiful property. Lot number 3049. That's about it. So thank you for watching. I'll put more details in the description. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Check out our website, e24land.com, and join our VIP email list. Join our VIP email list to get special deals and early notifications of properties. Thanks a lot.